Is self improvement really something that just has the upsides and not any downsides? Is there no dark side to the self improvement? Is everything just as nice as it seems? Well, today I'm going to share a very dark side of self improvement that even the most basic people on the self improvement face. But before we begin, I would like to share my story. Whether I look like it or not, I'm not a social butterfly. And the problem with me is, I'm not either an introvert nor an extrovert. I am in this sort of weird middle line between the two. And throughout the 2 years of my self improvement journey, what I have realized is most of your friends are only friends because you just see them 5 or 6 times a week. And I'm confident enough to say this because I have changed my school 3 times, and every time I change the school, the friends of my previous school just completely stop contacting me. It's not like I was the big bully or something to them. No, hell no. On the counterpart, I was actually one of the highly respected even by students and even by teachers of my previous schools. But what happened was they slowly developed through their own life, and I slowly developed through my life, and we just lost contact over time. When it was the first time, I thought it was just a fluke and it's not something that will happen to me again, because I really did not want to let go of them because they were the first people who I called my friends. But when it started happening again and again, what I realized was this was part of the cycle of life. And what I realized was the word friend we use is not in actual form, because we are more like colleagues instead of friends, because we just go to the same school and that's why we are friends. That is not being friends, that is being forced to work with someone else and being colleagues. But where the hell does self improvement come in all of this sad story? I already had a limited number of friends, but self improvement and all of this good stuff started even decreasing the number, and there is a reason for that. And by now you probably have understood what I am talking about. I am talking about losing friends on self improvement. When you are on the path of self improvement, when you are the guy who meditates every day, who journals every day, who exercises every day, there are not many people who is going to be like you. The people in your surrounding who you call friends, you will slowly outgrow them. You will start to lose them because they might be more into the degenerate stuff, whereas you are not in the degenerate stuff. You understand your value of your life, of your time, but they don't, and that's because they have not faced it yet. There was some kind of crisis in your life, that's why you are on the path of self improvement, but they haven't faced that crisis period. That's why they are not on self improvement. And self improvement doesn't mean that you have to dedicate yourself to a holistic process. It just means that you are not trying to be like the most people who are just pure degenerates and brain dead. You are trying to be a slightly better version of yourself. It's not like a hardcore regimen that you have to follow. It's not like 75 hard. You don't need friends who are on 75 hard. You need friends who don't like wasting their time, who actually value their time and their life, who have a direction in life. Another problem when it comes to losing friend is you start to blame yourself, and that's because you feel detached from them. You think that you are not being a good of a friend, that's why they are not contacting you. You probably have anxious thoughts like, I did something wrong, that's why they are excluding me out of the group. And this is not your own behavior, it's natural human instincts. It's just primary evolution that you want to be connected to a tribe, you want to be connected to a group, you want to be connected to a society, because you as a human being want to get accepted by people around you. And when people don't accept you or don't talk to you, you just simply think and blame everything on yourself, and you think that you are the reason why people don't talk to you. That's why your self-esteem gets lower. Now that we have talked about the what, let's talk about why it happens. The simplest explanation as to why it happens is because you improve whereas they stay on the same level. Let's say this is the graph of you and your friends. You are going to be like this because you are accelerated, whereas they are staying constant. That means they are not trying to improve themselves, and you are beating them in the game of improving yourselves. So your score is going to be higher. So you are going to be in a different league than them. If you have ever played any ranked game, you know there are different type of leagues. Similarly, you can think self-improvement as different leagues. Once you have grown to a certain league, the people under you, you are not gonna fight with them, you are not gonna stay with them, you're gonna grow, you're gonna stay with the people who are on your level. Imagine your friends are here. Would you like to stay here? You would stay here on your level, where you can meet people who are exactly like you. Another reason as to why it happens is because you are not able to bring them into self improvement, and that is something I have faced personally, and I am telling from experience, bringing someone to self improvement never works. It's because, as I previously said, they haven't faced that crisis in their life. Once they face it, once they realize that they have to improve themselves, then only they are gonna start self improvement. Otherwise, there is no point in bringing them to self improvement. Let's say you really wanted to build an aesthetic physique, so you started working out, you started doing all the good habits, and you finally built the physique. Someone who doesn't want that physique, or someone who is already satisfied or content with the physique he currently has, he is not going to start working out just because you say him. If you still want to keep in contact with those degenerate friends of yours, which I don't recommend personally, but for some reason you might want to do, the one thing I highly advise you to do is do not talk about self improvement in front of those people, because they are gonna think it's weird and they are gonna blame you. They are gonna say different things to you about these things. They are going to brainwash you to think that self improvement is not a good thing, and what they are suggesting, for example playing video games or going out, etc., these are the better things. But what you have to understand is you have to think in the long term instead of the short term. Once you just tell them about self improvement, after that your relation with them drops hugely. It's because once you share your morals, your beliefs to someone, he or she will find that they are conflicting with their own beliefs. That is why they will want to stay away from you. This is why I am telling that if you want to stay in contact with your previous friends or those whom you have outgrown, please do not talk about self improvement, and best of all is you just forget about them. Now that we have talked about the why, let's talk about how to overcome this. The first thing is a mindset change, and that is regarding the fact that you have to understand most of them are not going to be relevant to your life in about 5 to 10 years. Let's say there is one person who meditates 5 minutes for every day, only 5 minutes, nothing too much crazy, and there is another person who does not at all. After 2 years, 5 years of this same habit, this person is gonna be more fulfilled, is gonna be more aware, it's gonna be more present, whereas he will stay on the same level, he will not improve, whereas this guy has improved massively. It's because of the compound effect. That's why he is able to see through his lack of progress and understand that this person over here is not relevant to his life. That's why he outgrows him and he does not think about him at all. This is the one mindset change you need to stop regretting. You already know that if they are discouraging you on the pursuit of self-improvement or the pursuit of good habits, then they are toxic. They don't want you to see improve. It's because it lowers their own self-esteem, because they know they haven't achieved anything in life. That's why they want you to be the same. They want you to feel relevant to them, because if you achieve something, it means that they are not going to achieve it, and that's why they will feel jealous of you, and that's why they want you to be same as them. The practical tip I will give you is go alone for some time. Now what do I mean by this? Go alone for some time is basically grind stuff out, stay focused on a single task, achieve a single goal. Then once you achieve your set goal, you will attract more high quality people. You have to go alone for some period of time, ruthlessly improve yourself, and then come back and make the greatest social life that is out there. And it's because with the skills and the level you have right now, you're not worthy of being friends with the high level people. I already gave you the analogy of your friend being here and you are being here, but the high quality people you want to meet, they are here. There is a slight gap, but this slight gap means a huge lot of work for you, and once you accomplish that work and get onto that level, you will meet those people. But if you stay here and your friends are here but the high quality people are here, you're gonna regret all your life. That is why either you have to work to your fullest extent, that is your 100% potential, or go back to 0% or go back to match your friends. Don't just stay in 50%, middle 50%, 60% and aim to get better social life. Go 100%. Now let's conclude all of this. The first thing I'm gonna say is social life is very important, and this is particularly the case for people like me who just grind all day instead of having a social life. I am guilty of this myself, because I am the type of guy who has zero social life, but he just sits there in his chair and grinds all day. He does work all day and does not have a proper social life. But I am in this position because I don't want to attract low quality people towards my life, because I would rather just grind right now and get better for my future version so that he can attract high quality people. I advise you to work to have the period of of self-improvement where you just are alone. You don't have anyone. That doesn't mean that if you have already good people, you will leave them. Absolutely not. That is stupid garbage. If you have more than 2 brain cells, then yes, you understand what I'm saying. But if you have absolute low quality degenerate friends, you just have to leave them. There is no other way. And it doesn't mean that I have absolutely no friends who are good or all of my friends are degenerate. No, it's the simple fact that what I am currently working towards is not overlapping with any of my friends. So that is why we are not able to work together. Let's say one of my friends is a very nice musician and I am someone who wants to mix and match the tracks and edit the music. Then our goals will be overlapping, and that's why we can stay together on the track. We can do things together. But I am in the weird position where my goals are not matching those of my friends' goals. That is why I am in the self-improvement period alone. One of the best things you can do is you can scan out people who are better than the rest of the group and try to bring them onto self-improvement. I am always highly cautious about people bringing other people into self-improvement because of the facts that I previously spoke earlier. But the thing is, if there's someone who is into slight of a self-improvement thing, but he is not totally aware of the self-improvement movement, you can bring him or her into that space. Let me give you a practical example. Let's say you have a friend who is into exercising and bodybuilding and all of this, but he doesn't know about journaling and meditation. You can try introduce the concept to him. Similarly, if there is someone who meditates every day or journals every day, you can try to say him that, bro, let's go and exercise together, or let's make you a workout routine or something like this. If someone is already trying to improve bit by bit, you can take him or her along with you. But if someone is a total degenerate, you cannot do anything about him or her, and that is just pure fact. Now to answer the biggest question, is it a dark thing? Is it really bad? First thing you have to understand is this is the reality. This is the truth and you have to accept it. And the second thing you have to understand is this is not bad. The only constant thing in this universe is change. And that's why don't be afraid of changing. There are many people in the world who will tell that this is not good, accompany your old friends, all of this BS. But the thing is, if they pull you back, they are a distraction. If they are not aligned to your goals, they are a distraction. If they don't help you in any way, they are a distraction. That doesn't mean that have friends with benefits or something like that. But the thing is, if their moral values and your moral values have this much of a gap, then that means they are holding you back, and that's why they are not important and they are a distraction. I have seen too many people who are just scared of outgrowing their friends, and that's why they will just stay in mediocrity. And the only thing I will tell them is, if you want to improve, then improve, and if you want to stay mediocre, then stay mediocre. Don't be in the middle of mediocrity and improving. That is the worst thing. I will give you an analogy to understand. Let's say there are 3 students who have held the rank first, second, third respectively in, let's say, an examination. The first guy, he will definitely feel happy because he has topped. That is just common sense. The third guy, he will feel grateful because he has made his rank into the top 3. The second guy will be depressed, and I mean it, because he will just think that if I had done a little bit better, I could have reached first. But no, I decided to do less, and that's why I'm second. There is no man alive who is less happier than the second guy. That is why if you are in the middle of 2 extremes, that is the worst place to be. You either be at the topmost or you be at the bottommost. If you stay at the middle, you're gonna regret yourself. Well, now after all of this, do you think ego is a bad thing? Watch this one to find some pretty unexpected knowledge and advice, or check out this one to see whether you are actually learning or not. I'll see you in the next one. Start if you haven't already.